Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Who am I? Who do you think you are? What are you trying to tell us? Well, I'm 66 years old, and I am usually not included in the charts of like what happens to your body from 20 to 30, from 30 to 40, from 40 to 50, and 50 to 60. And after after that, they just assume that we're just little old fat ladies in the mall looking for acrylic yarn to make toilet roll covers for our children for Christmas. But that ain't the case with this one. I'm a woman who feels I've had a lot of success with the ketogenic food plan that I'm on. And I'm here to share that with anybody and everybody that listens, of course, but specifically for older women who felt that they lost out. They are left out. They aren't included in a lot of this stuff, and maybe that their losing days are over. And you've heard them. You've seen them in the workplace. You've seen them at parties. You've heard them anywhere around here, that it's just their lot in life to just get broader and broader, broader and broader and broader. Under the bra, through here, you start looking like a linebacker. The menopause, let's not even talk about that. The stomach that dangles down past the pubic area so you can't even see it anymore. If you have to lift the menopause to go to the bathroom safely, this is a good channel for you. You can learn a lot here and be satisfied with wonderful, healthy, whole foods and fats, and get a new palate instead of eating crappy junk food that just has you salivating for the next carby, fake sugar, little bag of something something. You will begin to see that, oh my God, is there anything better than like celery sticks with full fat cream cheese stuffed in them, or maybe even a nut butter stuffed in them? You will come to love simple foods in all their high fat glory again and begin to lose weight. Isn't that amazing? I never thought, when I started at Weight Watchers in '64. Now, I had a food addiction that I have been taming and snapping back with that thing that they train tigers with for decades. And I knew I had food issues. It's just how willing I was to make the changes for my way of life, for my way of eating. And so I had a that's it moment in June of 2014. I was in my 12-step recovery program, and I was looking around the room at women younger than me or my age, and they all had what I would call that middle, the middle tire, the menopause, the bloating thing that seems to, like that hard bloating thing that we can get when we get older. And some of them weren't even trying to hide it. I was always trying to conceal mine. Sure, it was there just like those women, but I wasn't wearing stuff that said, I don't care, as I walked up to the table laden with refined, processed morning treats for everybody there. I knew my gig was up. It's just that there were certain times in my food addiction and recovery journey when I plugged into it and took care of it and monitored it and made different changes. And then there were other times where I remember I was buying XL and XXL women's and men's clothing, figuring if they didn't fit now, they soon will be. And I was happy just to enjoy all the junk on the market and eat whatever I wanted to eat and not care. What difference does it make? I wasn't interested in the opposite sex. I wasn't interested. I mean, that whole world had ceased existing for me. And so it's like, wow, it's kind of a break. It's kind of a treat. Eat anything I want. Doesn't matter how big I get. I won't have any remorse, food hangovers, anxiety. I'm just going to be that fat and funny old person. Because plugging into a food program and the ketogenic lifestyle, sometimes it's not funny. It's not funny at all, nor is it fun at first if you have things to give up. And I gave up my things kind of gradually. Being in Weight Watchers gave me real keen insight in my early 60s into my portions, into what works for me. And, I took free fruits and vegetables as a gift and never questioned how many fruits I was having each day. Anywhere from 6 to 8, in case you were wondering. I had 6 to 8 mini meals. At every meal I had a fruit and something to go with it. Sometimes it was like a cheese stick. Sometimes it was like a hard-boiled egg. Other times it was like a carb of some sort, a processed flour carb. And so every hour and a half to 2 hours I was eating, and I was watching the clock. Oh yes, I was, because those things were zooming through in me and nothing stayed with me. I had no satiety. I didn't, but I knew that in less than an hour and a half, I could have something else. And so I was, I lost 17 pounds with Weight Watchers, and I guess you could say that I was successful in the months that I was a member. But it wasn't, in the end, there was still more to go. And I knew there was more to go. Not more to go with the food that I ate while there. And it was PPV, Smart Points hadn't come in yet. But, I was having all of the sugar-free frozen novelties, and I was having all the fruits, and I was still very much addicted to sugar, very much addicted to white flour or whole wheat carbs in the form of bread, cereal, muffins, pizza, all of that kind of stuff. And even buying the reduced something versions wasn't hitting it for me. And so it wasn't like I said, God, give me a new plan. It wasn't. It was somehow getting connected. Maybe it was like Dr. Oz, or maybe it was a PBS special. It was Dr. William Davis with the Wheat Belly diet. And I read that in August of 2015, and I went, oh, I get it. I'm addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to refined carbs still. And even though I had successfully lost those 17 pounds and maintained it, there was still a whole bunch of stuff going on inside of me with my food addict, my food journey, my food choices, and my head. My head was a very busy brain. And until, so the month of August 2015, I gave up sugar and wheat. And guess what happened? Nothing. It was amazing. I wasn't like jonesing. I wasn't craving stuff. The cold turkey approach to the sugar and the whole wheat was instant, and it worked. And the cravings, I didn't even notice that the cravings were slowly going away after a week or two. By the end of August, I was ready for more. And Dr. William Davis seemed to supply that with his Total Health book. And that was like an upgrade. It was like not only sugars and wheat, but now it's going to be all grains. Well, what does that mean? It means no barley, no rye, no oats, no wheat, no tapioca flour, none of the flour. The two flours I'm left with in my ketogenic diet are coconut flour and almond meal flour. And those are the only two. And I don't have them that often, to be honest with you. I will use coconut flour to thicken something, like an Alfredo sauce, and heavy cream and cheese and butter. Are you kidding me? I can have this on my spaghetti squash, and it's okay? Oh yes, my dears. And so I switched my berries. I switched to 4 ounces of organic berries, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries. and gave up the bananas, the apples, my beloved grapes. I love those grapes, even cantaloupe and watermelon and all those sort of fruits. Whether or not they were kicking me off, I don't know. It was just easier to go to organic berries, and I switched to full-fat dairy. Oh, thank you so much for that gift. And fatty cuts of meat. Oh, this is wonderful. And I had whooshes, which was all of a sudden a bunch of poundage left me. I dropped down quite a few sizes, but not necessarily that much poundage. And so hence what you read if you go to a lot of the keto websites is that the body changes, and although there weren't tons of pounds lost, my body has changed. If you are a member of my Facebook page, I posted a picture last week of what I look like at 66, and it is possible, and it is amazing. Do I still look in the mirror and see a size 16? Yes, I do, but I'm not. And all the clothes that began to fit me a little over a year ago still fit me today, and I'm in heaven. I'm very, very happy. I'm not missing the things that I used to have that were my go-tos, that were my guilty pleasure food items. I have found new high-fat type of items to have at the end of the meal. I guess you could call it a dessert, but it's not. I have plenty of fat at lunch to lead me to the next meal, the second meal. I have 2 hearty, high-fat, moderate, high in protein meals. I have nuts. I have nut butter. Sometimes I have full-fat Fage yogurt. I have eggs. I have no nitrate, no nitrite deli meats. I have, that's lunch. I have crunchy things that fill me up, such as celery, and I'm craving, or I'm on a run now with the organic English cucumber. So I have those 2 veggies at lunch with nut butter. I could have cream cheese too, stuffed into those celery little cavities. I could do that too, and I might, because I can. And so if you're over 50 and you think this is it, and you're in Weight Watchers and you're eating all those refined items that are legal and all of those fruits that are legal, and counting your points and buying little 100 calorie packets of things and having cereals and breads and pastas and those sort of things, there's a whole new world over here in the ketogenic lifestyle. You can find alternatives. I don't partake in the dessert type alternatives. They're still too triggering for right here, because this isn't going anywhere. My food addiction isn't going anywhere, and my food, with one taste, I could be gone. So I'm not partaking in those sort of things. My treats are lots of wonderful oils: macadamia oil, flaxseed oil, coconut oil, Calapo oil, Kerrygold butter, Evu extra virgin olive oil, all the nut butters I love. I have a nut butter review up here where I think I reviewed 11 to 13 different nut butters. Interesting data came out of that. So a nut at the end of a meal to me, a little ½ ounce of nuts in a tiny little dish, that says you're done. I can make those nuts last as long as a squirrel trying to get into one that hasn't been cracked and shelled yet. So if you want more information, you can private message me. You can leave a comment at the end of this video. I have the time now. I'm in semi-retirement, so I can answer questions and be present. I am committed to this page. I am not jumping off of this food plan. So if you're on another one and you have questions, no, this is a good place to listen to what has worked for me, being 66. If you're on your food plan and you're happy and it's satisfying you, then I'm happy to hear that too, because we all have our own journeys and we all have our own little bodies and metabolisms. And I so honor what it is that you're doing. But if you're not eating nutritiously and you're still eating crap to get to how many points or calories you can have in each day, then this might be the place, because we uncover food industry secrets and no-nos and naughties and things like that. So we get you to eating organic and grass-fed, and there isn't anything else better. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Bye-bye for now.